Last week we talked about 3 unusual ways how you can take notes and how you can use your notebooks. It was inspired by Benjamin Franklin, Alexis de Tocqueville, and George Marshall. Today we are going to look at 36 other ways how you can take notes, how you can keep notebooks and use them so they improve your life. I've divided them into 3 sections: daily life, self-improvement, and inspiration. Make sure that you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. Okay, let's get started. This is probably the most common category, so I'm just going to drop the names here and leave it at that. So you can use a notebook for your to-do list, reminders, grocery list. You can use a notebook where you will store your contacts, so emails, phone numbers, addresses, birthdays, etc. You can also use a notebook for doodling. Special mention deserves a notebook where you do your weekly reviews and your scheduling. When it comes to weekly review, I actually created a video that you can check out later on where I talk about what questions I ask myself. I believe that it's very important to write down the answers to those questions because it forces you to articulate clearly what's going on. When it comes to scheduling, I personally don't use a physical notebook. Currently, I use a combination of Microsoft To-Do app and Google Calendar, together with occasionally using the app Trello. Use a notebook to track your goals. In life, we have 2 possibilities. We can either go through life and react to the different circumstances that are presented to us, or we have some kind of aim. We have something that we want to achieve, and then we seek out opportunities that will lead us to that goal. It's similar to driving a car. If you know where you're going and you're suddenly on a crossroad, you make a decision based on which way is going to take you to your final destination. If you are just going for a ride and you don't really care where you will end up, you make decisions on whether to go left or right based on what looks more fun or easy or more interesting. And both ways are fine, but if you decide to go with the second one, you need to be prepared that when you are at the end of your journey, you might end up in a place where you didn't want to go or you didn't want to end up in, and you might have missed some places where you actually wanted to go. So if you are the person that definitely wants to reach your destination, make sure you plan ahead. And that's where the goals come in place. Make sure that you write down your long-term and short-term goals. You have some action steps and you revisit those goals on a regular basis to make sure that you are on the right path. Another way how you can use a notebook is for journaling and daily reflection. There are a lot of prompts out there on the internet if you're unsure where to start. You can write about whatever comes into your mind. It can be positive things and your aspirations, but it can also be a way how to get rid of some negative feelings you might have, to declutter your mind and move on. A lot of people see great results when they use a gratitude journal on a daily basis. You write down what you're thankful for, what you're grateful for, together with some positive affirmations. There are a lot of different types of gratitude journals. I recommend to try the 5-minute journal from Mimi and Alex Icon. You can buy either the physical copy online or from a bookstore, or you can even download for free a template from their website. Use your notebook for learning. Take notes on the content that you're consuming or sharpen your knowledge with techniques like the FEYNMAN technique. It's also a good idea to keep a list of books that you would like to read together with the list of books that you have read. The same goes with podcasts, documentaries, movies, or TV shows. Having a notebook where you write down one new thing every single day that you have learned from the area that you are interested in is going to make sure that you are making a continuous effort to master your field. Another way how to use your notebook is to log your exercise and or your food intake. You would be surprised how your diet can change if the only thing you change about it is that you're actually going to write down what you're eating. It's kind of not so easy to eat a whole chocolate if you need to write it down. And if you're going to the gym and you don't write down what you're doing there, how do you know that you're actually improving? Write down what you're doing this week and then try to find a way how to improve it by just 1% next week. You can also create benchmarks that you're going to measure yourself on a regular basis so you see if you're improving. You can do something as simple as how many push-ups can you do unbroken, how many air squats can you do in a minute, and so on. Write it down and then repeat that in 3 months and then another 3 months and so on to see if your training is paying off. The same way you can measure your body. Take a tape and take a measurement of your body, write it down and repeat it at least on a yearly basis so you know if you're going in the direction you want to go. The same way you can keep track of your blood pressure or of your heart rate, body fat, and so on. You have only one body, so make sure that it's in the best possible condition. This is the fun category. This is where you dream and you dream big. Do you have your bucket list? Do you have a list of things that you would like to experience before you turn 30, 40, 50? Some people like to use vision boards. Other people write down the stuff they would like to achieve in a notebook, maybe together with some photos or drawings. Have a notebook where you write down your values and beliefs. Have a notebook with your mission statements written on the first page and then principles you live by, and make sure that you review that notebook very often. If you do so, it's going to make your decision making way easier. It's going to make your scheduling way easier because suddenly deciding whether to do certain things, it's very, very easy because you know what's important in your life. It's going to give your life a purpose. Have a running list of ideas in areas that are of interest to you, whether it's traveling, learning new skills, experiencing stuff, or of recipes that you would like to try to cook. Keep a notebook also with the ideas that you would like to do when you feel lazy and tired and unmotivated. It's a good idea to also have a list of things you can do with the family and friends when they are in town, or something that you can do on weekends. So when the time comes and you would like to plan a fun afternoon, you have a long list of things to choose from. If you are a creative person, or maybe creativity is even part of your job, you might find yourself getting inspiration at the weirdest time and most inconvenient times, like during your sleep, during showering, walking, driving, etc. Make sure that you have some kind of system in place that's going to allow you to capture those ideas, like having a pocket notebook wherever you go with you or on your nightstand. Another way how you can use an empty notebook is to create a Q&A notebook. How it works is you come up with 52 questions and you write each question at the top of a page. You have for one question always a double page, and then you divide each page in half. And each half is for an answer during a certain year. So you start this year and the first week you answer the first question, you answer it in the first part of the first page. And every week after that, you answer a different question. And then next year, you answer the same question at the bottom of the first page. And then you have for the third year, you have the top of the second page, and then you have also the bottom of the page for the fourth year. So you're answering the same question 4 years in a row. And that can give you really great perspective about yourself and how you're changing. I actually do something similar with the Daily Stoic Journal. The Daily Stoic Journal has 2 entries. It's suggested that you answer the given question always in the morning and then in the evening. I do it only once a day in the morning. So now that I'm in my second year, I actually write down my answer in the evening section and I can read what I wrote and what I was thinking about last year. Keep a notebook with questions you might have about the world. Try to see it through a child's eyes. In mindfulness, they call it the beginner's mind. Things that we have done millions of times, but we can still learn to approach them with beginner's minds. Try to see them for the first time and then ask questions. It takes time to learn this technique, but it can give you a lot of new ideas and new perspectives. Another thing you can do is to keep a notebook with quotes from interesting people, whether it's famous people, people from the past, or simply people around you. You can also use a notebook for brainstorming. Having a brainstorming session regularly, like at least once in 2 weeks, is a really great idea. You can ask stuff about your life. You can brainstorm on how you can improve your life. You can brainstorm on your relationships with other people, what you can do there, how you can surprise those people, how you can make the relationship better. You can brainstorm ideas on your work and how you can improve there. And lastly, keep a notebook where you write down information about the people that are most important to you, whether it's their birthdays, their wishes, the fun things you have done together, or the stuff that they might mention just by the way, but you might use later on to surprise them. I hope that this long list gave you some ideas how you can use a notebook. Let me know down below in the comment section if there was something that surprised you. Subscribe to my channel, like this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.